What is happening, guys? It's your boy TC back with another video. So we've just come off the back of a defeat at Newcastle. What a terrible defeat in my opinion. So that's the 5th defeat away, and it's been really bad in terms of our away form. Of course, in the Europa League, we've been sort of touch and go. We managed to secure a draw away at CSKA Moscow. But in the Premier League, we've been extremely poor. So it was a 2-1 defeat to Newcastle. Obviously, I wasn't expecting a defeat, really, even with the players that were put out by Arsène Wenger. I was certainly expecting a bit better than what we actually ended up seeing. So let's talk about the team selection. The team selection was as expected, really, and that was Petr Cech in goal. At right back, Callum Chambers came into the team. In the middle of defence, we saw Rob Holding partnering Mustafi. At left back, we saw Nacho Monreal. In the middle of the park, we did have El Neni coming back into the team, so he certainly kept his place in the team, as well as the fact that we saw Joe Willock make his actual Premier League debut. Absolutely amazing to see him make his debut. I do like Joe Willock. I'm a huge fan of Joe Willock, really, I should say. And the other midfielder was Granit Xhaka, who came back into the team. He was absolutely appalling, in my opinion. Kept slipping over, kept falling over within the first half, but that's all done and dusted now. Up top, we saw Wenger be brave enough and actually start Lacazette and Aubameyang. So it was the first time we saw them together, and they actually came up with a goal as a striking partnership, really, even though Aubameyang was sort of coming off of the left-hand side. But he managed to secure an assist for Lacazette, and we also saw Iwobi playing on the right-hand side. So, of course, as mentioned, the game was played at St James's Park. Of course, I was expecting a win. We are now sitting 2 points above Burnley, and it's really, it's quite disappointing, really, in terms of the fact that we are fighting for position with Burnley. We're now 6 points behind Chelsea, who are lying in 5th place in the Premier League. I was expecting to close the gap down, really, to 3 points to Chelsea. So let's talk about the performance overall. Of course, we ended up taking the lead. It was a fantastic move. Aubameyang took the ball down when he received it from deep. This was for our first goal, by the way. Took the ball down quite well. Fantastic touch to cushion it into his path. And it was a sort of an unorthodox cross that ended up flashing across goal. Lacazette had to stretch to get the ball into the back of the net, but he managed to make contact and the ball found itself into the back of the net. Up until that point, sort of, we found ourselves quite comfortable in possession, and in terms of what we were doing at the time, Newcastle weren't really posing us any sort of a threat, if you like. But as the game went on, of course, they equalised not too long after, and that was through Jose Perez. It was essentially a really good team goal from Newcastle. Fantastic goal, in my opinion. 9 players were certainly involved in the goal. It was 11 touches that were involved as well for the goal to end up into the back of the net. But essentially, we should have been a bit more astute in terms of our defence. Mustafi was finding himself again making a number of his mistakes in this game, and Jose Perez snuck in. It was a really long ball. The final ball was a long ball over the top. Found Dwight Gale, and they kept finding Dwight Gale with these long balls over the top, and we weren't able to deal with them. So they found Dwight Gale with this ball. He managed to get it across. So Jose Perez was on a run from deep, and he managed to slot it into the back of the net on the near post. It was a really tight finish, but overall it was a really good goal. Not going to take anything away from Newcastle, as well as the fact that Rafael Benítez has done a fantastic job for them over there. They have now secured Premier League safety, and essentially we went into the second half, and the score was still essentially 1-0 when we went into the second half. Came out, and Matt Ritchie was gifted a goal by our defence. Nacho Monreal with a failed clearance. I have no idea how he wanted to clear it or where he wanted to clear it to, but it was a terrible clearance, in my opinion. And eventually it found a Newcastle player who slotted it in for Matt Ritchie, and he had a massive, he had a lot of space in front of him for him to actually tuck the ball away. But again, very easy finish for Matt Ritchie, and they found themselves 2-1 up. From that point, essentially, they were in control of the game. We did not pose any threat. We started to make some substitutions. Saw Callum Chambers coming off for Maitland-Niles. We also saw Danny Welbeck coming in. We also saw Eddie Nketiah coming on. I think this was really late into the game. But again, I wasn't really anticipating a defeat. A draw, yes. So, as mentioned, this is the first time Newcastle have beaten us, I think, since 2005 at St James's Park. Of course, during that whole time between then and now, they have also found themselves within the Championship, and we haven't played them as much as we could have over time. But first win for them, and Rafael Benítez, as I said, has done a fantastic job for them so far this season. Essentially, they have now secured Premier League safety, and yeah, brilliant job from them. And as I said, I was really expecting an actual win, but the team put out was fairly weak. So as usual, guys, please do let me know what you think in the comments below. If you're watching this video and you're not subscribed to the channel, please do make sure that you do hit that subscribe button. So once again, guys, it's your boy TC from I'm Gonna Talk TV, and I'm out.